Ah yes, back to this game. I probably have footage of it somewhere that I will try and find, but there is a mod system in the first Descendant that is very similar to other games. This took me a while to notice a few things on it, so I was just kind of spamming mods in there, throwing in the ones that I found useful. This is only good for the first little bit you play the game. Once you have got Bunny working this way, doesn't work anymore. We have the mod system for weapons that you can access quickly by either pressing N or from the controller Y, or going over to this symbol, which is of course for the mods, and we'll go over to the second screen to point out this little symbol inside of the mod here. That would be, I really want to say the polarity of it. That would be the socket, as it is dubbed here. This is the socket symbol, and the best way to put this is if you put a mod in a normal slot, it will take up that many points. 5 or 5 or 6. We kind of need, there we go, or 6, or the ones you kind of want to be using. I would say kind of ignore the names on these because they're not the best names for these. Fire rate up increases the fire rate. Yes, if you're using a high fire rate weapon, something like that can be really good. Accuracy plus 11, always great to actually have on a weapon. Some of the other ones, firearm critical hit rate plus 11, but firearm attack is -4. You can see it on the left. The attack damage of this will be going down by -4, which it already is because I've already installed that mod. You can have many modules. They are called modules, but I will refer to them as mods because force of habit more than anything else. But this little symbol here matches the modules quite well. If you match the module to the socket, it turns green. You'll notice if you hover over another one, nothing happens. Hover it over a one that matches the symbols and it turns green, because this 5-point mod will now take up 3 points. It halves the number depending on the mod you are putting in there. If it is a odd number mod, it will half it to the nearest number, so that is halving it to 6. It always halves it to the nearest number up. It always rounds up, is the best way to put this. So a 5 will become a 3, not a 2.5, not a 2, a 3. A even number mod will perfectly half, so a 6-point mod will go down to a 3. This is how you get around that message that pops up constantly that tells you you can't fit mods in. Insufficient capacity to equip. I did have to put them in the wrong slot. If you do this, it will take more points. So instead of it being a 6-point mod, it's now an 8-point mod. Then there is the sub-module slot. This is the best way to put this. This is a slot that increases your module capacity. If you put an empty one in, it does nothing because it's a 0. If you put one in that's partly leveled, it will add capacity to your Descendant's total module capacity. You put a max one in, you basically get an extra 10 points, allowing you to put in a lot more mods, meaning you can level them up so much better. Why is that in there? You can of course change these sockets for anything you want, or add one in if you want to. See, that goes in there. But you do need to get a hold of one of these rare items to actually do it. It's a build thing, and yeah, I haven't actually built any yet. But you're basically going to have to put them in every single slot depending on how you want to build the frame to make a lot of builds actually fit. There's actually a tutorial that makes you come here and increase mods, so we'll be kind of quick. I'm trying to press 3 different buttons here. Enhance modules is where you need to come into here and go, that was fire rate and attack speed, I want to increase that. It uses the Kaipa shards, They say Kaiba, but sorry, Star Wars is a thing. And gold. Gold, of course, being the money. Kaiba drops pretty much everywhere. Increasing these, as you can see, will increase the stat of the mod. Not always in the way that you would like it to, though. But you need to be careful what modules you actually upgrade, because there is 4 different types for the 4 different weapon types. You have the general rounds, that tends to just be the white ones. Then there is the special rounds, this seems to be more precision based. Then there is the impact rounds, that would be the green ones. And of course the high powered rounds, this would be for your heavy weapon. Now the one you don't use that often because you cannot find ammo for it as often as you would like. Would love if that ammo dropped a lot more. As well as obviously the Descendant mods, where we can get into a whole realm of the translucent mods. Are really, really useful from going through here and having a look at some of them, but they are Descendant specific. Say, knew I had one, just one, because you basically get it for her. The ultimate ones will drop quite often actually. I mean, there's only 3, but that's because they were on the Descendants. The general rounds have some as well, as does the special rounds, impact rounds, high... Oh, I really only got 1 for that? High-powered rounds. The Descendant ones are just going to be dropping a lot more. Then there is what they are classing as the rare mods that tend to be a combo of 2 different... call it skill sets? Crit hit and electrical skill power. Really useful for Bunny. Max shields, skill cost goes down. That is a good thing because it means you're using less to cast abilities. So you can have max shields and skill cost in 1 slot instead of having 2 of these in, with increased shields, and then I'm pretty sure I thought there was, but I can't really find the skill cooldown on that one. Then we get into the messy module group category of all of this, and that is where things can get kind of horrible. And the main reason most of my builds still have normal mods in rather than the rare mods, because I don't have the Kaiba shards to actually level up these ones to take out the normal ones. At the bottom of Technician, being the only one in here who actually has it, it says attack. Where that writing is at the bottom of the module, none of the rest of them have them, because Technician is the only one that falls into the category of a group-based mod. You can see them down here. You cannot fit 2 of these mods at the same time. That's a normal mod, that's a rare mod. They share nothing in common other than they are all inside of the attack group, and if you try to put it in there with another one, it won't let you. A module of the same group is already equipped. You have to take 1 attack mod out to put another one in, and pretty much every single one of the rare mods falls into a category, stopping you from having too much power, or having too much shields, too much defense, or in this case, oh, it's going to get weird quick. Architect, Fortitude, Medical, Range, Guard, Shield, Battle, Attack, Control, Luck, Strike, MP, Defense. Pretty much all of them. There is a lot of them that fall into the same categories, but all of these ones that don't have writing on, that's an HP one. Max HP will fit in there with increased HP. Yes, there is also the elephant in the room. Max capacity up will in fact increase the max capacity of your Descendant using an energy activator. You will get one for free. I would suggest using it on a Descendant you're going to be using a lot, because they are not so hard to get the blueprint for, so I keep getting told. But the resources to actually level it up are quite annoying to get a hold of, just like the ultimate frames. Ultimate Descendants. I wonder how many times I've said frames instead of Descendants in this. As you can clearly see 1 week on, this will help a lot, as will installing that crystallization catalyst. That, little bit easier to get a hold of, but again, the components, not so much. And again, you do this to be able to match the socket type to the module type, and it will then use half the capacity. Sorting out your mods early on is kind of important. You don't really need to use the rare ones straight away. You can add them in later and kind of decide, do I want to run a defense mod when this basically has the same thing? I mean, that one's leveled up by 1 and that one's empty, so instead of having that 7-point mod in there, I can have a 6-point mod and have skill, power and defense, or both, and ending up with the defense of 40, well, you'd think it would be over at the side, it is 44.8, because that will add defense, because that defense mod is not included in a group, so you can run some of them together, just not the attack ones. That annoys me quite a bit, but it's totally understandable. And with that, we'll leave this off here because I've gone on way too long. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.